Everyone, just getting the game up and running here. There we go. There we go. I'm in game. Okay, Crucify Trap is done.
Add Astra ab.
Can close a few browser tabs. There we go. Start with all this. I stop with gathering meat from these things here because I'm near cap. How much time do I have in resin? 2.5 hours. That should be plenty of time. Crucify Trap first. There we go. Now, for the parametric transformer, let me show you a little interesting trick with it. Come out to a spot where there's grass. Drop the parametric transform on top of it. Hey Ash, welcome to the stream. You put the, you charge it with something. Now, to charge it, instead of hitting it with all attacks all the time to charge it, which takes a while, set the grass under it on fire, and the grass will charge it for you, or the fire will charge it for you. And it does it very quickly, too. Do it like a third of the time. Okay, so... what do I need to do right now? I'm gonna hit the teapot real quick. Collect my resources.
If you ever
Check how much time is left on my crops. So it'll be tomorrow. Oh, Ash, I need to show you. I updated Diana's bar a little bit. I know that was one of your favorite rooms in my mansion. I actually have 2 tables now, and got stuff on them. Like the change? You got Kirara back here. And Farina back in her room, now that Skirk is friendship level 10. And this was from Skirk's party. Or not party, her Skirk's story quest. Yep. What dailies are there today? That one's one of the more fun ones. The only time I do the dailies is when it's the more fun ones to do. If not, I just turn them into the Adventure Handbook. Okay, I'm going to want to get Milani on the party.
Let's go!
And up here. There we go. And put Churi back up here.
Welcome to Chioria Boutique.
Events. Go to quest. Now the question is this voiced or not? I didn't check beforehand. So I'll do this just in case. Ah, yes. I'm glad I got my Milani. I enjoy using her.
It's not so much the rain that bothers me, but the mud.
And this is how you get rid of bad weather in Genshin.
Always a pain to wash it out of my clothes.
I guess we're not talking to this Melusine here. Okay, so it's this guard I need to talk to. Not voiced. We've been at this for half a day now. The monsters aren't showing any sign of thinning out. Maybe I should call for reinforcements? There's no need to panic. Trust in the cannon and our plainclothes colleague. Besides, there's an adventurer with a nose for danger and a certain officer who are sure to turn up if we find ourselves in a crisis. We got here in time, I hope? Well, here they are. Proto-boss and her little assistant really having a show up, or really have shown up. Hello, you two. Please allow me to explain the situation. Why don't you take a breather? I can brief these two. Hey, wanna have a go on the cannon? Opportunities like this don't roll out often. At least not since the fleet was destroyed. It'll be a blast from centuries past. Ah, so she's selling it off as recreation instead of work. Blowing monster smithereens with these specially made projectiles and the perfect way to unwind, and the guards will even reward you for it. Is there a particular reason for filling these monsters up? Recently, a group of workers unexpectedly unearthed some ruins nearby, disturbing the monsters slumbering within. The guards have set up a containment zone to prevent their escape. Well, I'll say contaminant zone at the moment is just two of us and a Melazine agent who happen to be here on holiday. Oh, and our customized cannon, of course. Sounds dangerous. Final host Melazine agent isn't any danger. Don't worry about her. The cannon at the entrance to the ruins is operated remotely. She can keep most of the monsters in check without getting anywhere near them. She's very reliable, but this operation is dragging on now and she must be exhausted. Will you help us out, Proto Boss? If the situation doesn't improve soon, I'll have to call for reinforcements. I'm not sure how to walk away from danger. So I'm grateful for your help. After the last experiment, I made some adjustments to my invention. I hope you'll find it easy to operate. Now, if only we can get to fire automatically, what do you think? That's a great idea. Next time, I can try fitting it with the Gardamex's target identification module. That way, it should be able to operate autonomously. How clever. You really are a genius. And now we talk to the Melazine. Hey-ho, here comes the relief force. What are you doing here? I feel like we've met before. So you do remember me. I applied for a position in the Shadowland Film Fantasyland. Hey, welcome to the stream. Among sus. Very sus indeed. Paimon thinks she maybe remembers that. Well, I'm well aware of your deeds, and I know I can trust you with anything. On the other hand, those two over there are reliable enough, but there's something a little awkward between them. Human emotions are complicated. I think maybe they could do with a little push. Awkward? Basically, those two are into each other. Forget it, there's more important things to focus on. Anyways, I have faith in you. The cannon's easy enough to operate. I'm sure you'll have those monsters cleared up in short order. Okay. Types. You gotta prevent the monsters from crossing the defensive line. Observe the cannons. So we have... We can actively switch the type before firing. In every battle, you'll have a fixed selection of shot types and fixed amount of ammunition. You can familiarize yourself with the shot types. Okay. Now, I don't know what we need to press to change the thing, but I'm sure it's just mouse and click for the aiming. Just doing all the event in one go, basically. I don't think this event's all that long anyway, so I'm going to be doing my daily stuff after too. Hopefully I can get a new stands for Skirk. Control scheme. Okay. So, piercing shot. Overload, so fire on the electrodes, then it'll blow them up and break shields. Kill the Simon Trolls first, okay. Yeah, I'm not playing for an FA. Break his shield first. There we go. Hello, Luz. Welcome to the stream. Just getting the event done here. So now we have an ice shot. And then the same for the other ones. Okay. Let me catch up in chat here, because I was focusing on a thing there. Need for Flans, though. Actually, let me show what I was thinking of here for wishing. Let's bring up Discord here. I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. And yourself, Luz? I think this would probably be the best one. Try this view. So, You know, we expect her to be the free 4-star coming for the next one. Ooh. Yeah, you gotta eat. Llama, her design does look interesting to me, so she'll be one that I may try for, depending on her kit. Nafir, I really like her face, so I'm likely gonna want to really go for her. Flynn's, I'm skipping him, fails my account rule for the most part, I think. Yeah, Llama is pretty. Jehoda, to me, she kind of looks like a 4-star with her design. Although she's not on what I'm going after myself. And of course, whoever I go for, no one's required to go over the same characters. And if I skip a character, that doesn't mean I think they're bad. It depends. 4-stars are kind of hit or miss, and 4-stars are not guaranteed. And I'll show you in a bit. Columbina, she is a must pull for me. I gotta get her. And normally every patch we've always had every region we've always had an Archon to go after that's like the big character of the region, and there's no Archon for Nod Cry. And looking at how the last web event where there are statues with her in it in place of statues of 7, we're believing that she's going to be like the Archon level kind of character to go after toolkit wise in for that patch there. So we'll probably want to get her. And she's adorable too. And then Cedrone, I'll probably want to get her too. Varka, I'll skip him probably. Although there's a lot of people who really want him. Nicole Reen. I really like her design, so I'm likely going to go for her too. And of course, Alice. You gotta get Alice. So that's a lot of characters. Durin, I'm not that interested in him, but there are some people who really want him. Yeah, not surprised. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 characters for me to want to go for in the game. And since I'm not whaling, that's going to be hard to get. Hey, Pimp, welcome to the stream. So let's start this here. Okay, so Shatter deals more damage. Bounce shots, okay. Oh, yes. I think I'll want to do this. And you got missed. Thinking that's what they want us to do? Thanks. That was pretty easy. Third one. We got Pyro and Cryo. I think that's Cryo? Yeah, Icy. Ah, yes. Final wave. All right. Fourth stage. Now there's something new here. Oh, draws in enemies, and then you can... Okay. Okay, that's what you're supposed to do. Okay, so I'm supposed to throw that thing out more often to save ammo. Okay, I got it. There we go. Now that I used that shot correctly. Last stage. Piercing. Is that Hydro or is that Cryo again? Icy shot. So fire, ice, piercing, and regular shot. Yeah, I've had those before. Those are actually pretty good nachos. I think I kind of messed that up quite a bit. Should use ice, not pyro. Final wave. There we go. That should be all of them. Gotta claim all my rewards. I gotta check my dailies. Yeah, you go there. Gotta be that rebel. Adventure handbook. Like the other 3 dailies I didn't do. Yeah. Almost 2 hours before I resin cap. The results are far, far better than expected. Even a whole company couldn't take as many monsters as you. Based on the current situation, there's no way those monsters can escape the ruins. How do you feel? Was it hard work? My ears are still ringing. Paimon feels like there's a flock of seagulls screaming inside her head. I have a solution for that. In Abandoned Engineer Project, I read mentioned using multi-chambered muzzle device to slow down the gases responsible for the noises and make can quieter. Unfortunately, these materials are quite expensive. So basically a silencer, but they don't silence as much as you think they do. Anyways, crisis has been averted. We have collected enough data to ensure the next version of my cannon will be even better. Thank you enough, Robust, of course, for that, your little assistant. At least we forget the vital roleplay, Miss Marie. The reward money has already been earmarked for our proto boss, but once I've sold the cannon, I'll split the proceeds with you 50-50. You want to split the money with me? I don't care much for Mora, but I wouldn't say no to some fermented whatever that is, and it needs to be wheat-based alcohol. None of that fruity nonsense. Ah, so she's into, this Melanzine's into beer. You can't have alcohol, Paimon. You shouldn't just eat anything, Paimon. Sure, we can just swap the alcohol for Fanta. That'll do the trick. That kind of defeats the purpose there, doesn't it? Pickler. The market for this sort of food preparation device is huge. It's not like trying to sell cannons. You need to display their exponential performance against powerful opponents. Why are you so against Bennett? Bennett's actually one of her really good supports because Malvika scales off attack power, and Bennett buff is just what Malvika wants. What constellation is your Kaya? You'll get a Bennett soon enough. C0. Okay. Let me check something here.
Add Astro. Thank you for
Okay. Right now, Jangling and Fischl in the shop. Let me check the shop rotation here. Okay, so Bennett will be in the shop was last in shop in May, so you just missed him a couple months ago, or a few months ago, and then again in November. So he'll next be in the Star Glitter shop when November hits. So you're guaranteed to be able to get him at least there. But without Bennett, actually I could do this to show. So, Aoife released with a Escoffier. I got Escoffier, but didn't get Aoife. I got Skirk. Dahlia released with Skirk. I didn't get Dahlia, but I did get Skirk. So, 4 stars can be a trap to go for on the banners. However, let's see here. For Malvika, do you have Chevreuse? Tangle, do you have Chevreuse, this girl? The reason being with Chevreuse, if you look at her kit, she's able to fire an overcharge ball. So when a party member does, or even herself does an overload reaction, she'll gain an overcharge ball, and her hold E will fire that overcharge ball. So when she fires it, she'll grant an attack power buff to the party based on her max HP. So it caps out at where she's at 40,000 health, then she'll give a total of a 40% attack buff to the party. This also acts as a heal, so you'll be able to heal yourself with her skill, so she's also a healer too. And then on top of that, if you have a party that's straight just pyro and electro characters, when you get an overload reaction on an enemy, what will happen is that she will shred the resistances on that enemy for both Pyro and Electro by 40%. So this is similar to like VV Shred, but it's like automatic. And she doesn't even have to be on the field for that to happen. So as long as you have both Pyro and Electro being applied regularly, then this will be always up and you'll always have that benefit. So attack buff, healing, and resistance shred all together into one kit. And then on top of that, you can give her one of many artifact sets that will actually heal her, or heal. So if I go into... Oh, I see. That's kind of sketchy. So, Noblesse Oblige is nice because when she does her burst, she gives the entire party a 20% attack buff for 12 seconds. So that brings her total attack buff from 40% to 60%. And then there's also Songs of Day Past. It'll increase her healing bonus. And when the equipping character heals a party member, Unity Effect created for 6 seconds, which records the total amount of healing provided. And when the duration expires, your effect will be transformed to waves of days past. When your active party member hits an opponent with a normal attack, charge attack, punch attack, or basically any of their stuff, the damage dealt will be increased by 8% of the total healing amount recorded by the yearning effect. So basically, this also increases your party's damage. But this is a bit more annoying. You have to farm this specifically. This can come from, like, weekly boxes, strong box, whatever. I think this can be strong box, too, these days. But those are options. And then for Electro characters, or Pyro and Electro, Jailing is good to have, although she does want a lot of energy recharge, because she's good for off-field Pyro application with Pyronado. We did get an Oron free from an event, but you can give him Skull of the Cinder City, since he's a Natlan character. And you do want a Natlan character with Malvika to help her generate her fighting spirit so she can use her burst. So when he does triggers an overload reaction, Electro and Pyro, he'll just buff the party for 40% Pyro and Electro damage bonus to the whole party. So that's a big buff to the party on top of him doing damage. Ionson's great too, because she can do the same thing. And she also buffs attack power too, although she doesn't have any of her own personal damage, but she does offer a pretty big attack buff when she does her skilled and burst. And then Malvika can use that when she does donuts on her motorcycle to do big damage. Although you do want off-field Electro, so if you're using her, then you'll want to use a character either like Fischl or Kuki to do off-field Electro application to keep up the resistance shred from Chevreuse. And that makes a pretty decent Malvika team. Now, I didn't build my Oron, but I did build my Ionson. Now, if you build Malvika for Overload team, you don't want to build her the exact same way I built mine, because I put an Elemental Mastery stance here. You'll want an attack stance, because the extra overload damage from the EM will be much less than the attack power in an Overload team. I don't know if Zangle is still around, but hopefully that answers his question. Now, I have not resin capped yet. That's perfect. Depends on which character. When it comes to Malvika, she is an attack scaler, and in an Overload team, you want attack and crit ratio. She doesn't need any other stats than attack and crit in Overload. If you want to use her in Vaporize or Melt, then EM becomes very important for her, on top of those other two stats. For Chevreuse, you just want to build her with energy recharge and HP. So my Chevreuse, I have a fairly free-to-play friendly build for Chevreuse. I did give her an event weapon, so when she performs healing, she can restore energy back. Now, is Malvika on Obsidian Codex? Because if she's on Obsidian Codex, she gets an additional 40% crit rate, so that'll bump you up to... Oh, okay. You want Malvika on Obsidian Codex, because that 40% crit rate bonus, plus another 15% bonus damage for her, this is big for her output. So you'll definitely want to farm this set for Malvika. And did you get either Iron Sin or Oron? What'd you have to admit? Artifact RNG is real in this game. It's deliberately bad. So when you do an artifact domain for artifacts, there's like 7 layers of RNG. The first RNG is, are you going to get which set of the, from the thing? That's the first layer. The second layer is, which slot are you going to get? The third layer is, what main stat are you going to get on it? The fourth layer is, which substats are you going to get? The fifth layer is, how much those, or are you going to start with 3 or 4 substats? Because that makes a big difference. Oh, that's good. Next layer is how much, like when you roll for stat, like when you upgrade it and you get upgrades and stats, it's random which one you get. And then another layer of RNG is how much of stat do you get, because it's not the same amount for, like there's a roll value to it. So with all those layers of RNG, and the fact that they deliberately lower the percentages on the preferred ones compared to getting worse ones, they deliberately made RNG on artifacts absolutely horrible. So there's not much. So the only thing that we can do is just keep farming. I'll give you an example here. The domain that you farm Skirk's artifacts from, you also get Verissa stuff from, right? So I have a Verissa build here. And let me bring up just a second here. Okay, so here's my Akasha. So I've got my Verissa to like a top 4.5% build. So she's got a fairly strong build for Verissa. And her artifacts come from the same domain as Skirk's, right? So if I go back to the game and look at my Skirk, I have still yet to get a good sand. So I have 2 rolls on crit rate, I think. Yeah, so I got 2 rolls in crit, 1 roll in flat attack, and 1 roll on HP. I like to have both crit rate and crit damage on the sands, and I want to have more rolls in those. Because it's attack percent main stat. And I just don't get it. This is my only other one that I got. And this is worse. And I've been in that domain a lot. So, bad RNG affects everyone, and the only thing you can do about that is just farm, farm, farm. So when you see people with good artifacts on a lot of their builds, it just shows how much they've been farming in this game, because they deal bad RNG just like you do. Perhaps I can show you a bit of Overload Team. Okay. So, I want an off-field Electro. Official. I want my... Her and Einstein.
In the name of the Princessin.
Okay. I haven't built my Auron, so I'm not going to use him here. But he's definitely really good to use because he can have good off-field electro application. And then for the constant pyro application, that's Movika's job. Now, my Movika's not built for overload. However, she has C2 at least, so this is just a domain. So, this,
U.S. Quick as a flash. Start the light of the blazing sun.
And then donuts. Just like that. Now, there we go. Garbage. Well, that means he needs to be built. And while you farm for Movika's set, because Movika wants this set, Auron wants this set. So that increases resin efficiency, because you get to farm 2 artifact sets at the same time with the same resin. Yeah, but it's always good to keep an eye out for upgrades too, right?
Is it time to go?
You can do this to be lazy. Yes, Movika Overload team would use Movika, Ianson, Chevreuse, and then of course Verissa. So that would be a Verissa Overload team, her ideal team. Although the performance does suffer until you actually get more constellations on Ianson and Chevreuse.
This made her look.
Pyroclastic surge!
Garbage Helm. I'm predicting that I'm going to get all garbage today from these runs. That's usually what happens.
Bring it! Light of the blazing sun!
Surf's up.
How did you miss? There you go.
Need a surfboard?
Only one good stat, not good. I'm not sure about the actual theory crafting if you have absolute perfect everything, but I can imagine she can still do quite a bit, enough to clear content and enough to do floor 12 and clear floor 12.
Burn it down! Wrath from the sky!
Carving waves!
Look at that utter trash. Alright, next run.
Bring it! Pyroclastic surge!
Let's ride! Amazing!
Well, when it comes to Overload Team, it's not her biggest hits that she will do. Basically, there's a lot of party damage that happens as well on top of Movika's, but her Melt Team specifically is more just her own damage. Again, I got garbage. So if you're looking for the biggest Movika hits, you're looking at Melt Teams, and then you're really going to want to have Sit Lolly for that.
Light it up! Wrath from the sky!
Amazing!
I'm doing like 500k hits on Melania without even having to heat his burst up. It actually, a 250 EM will actually boost over 600k. Yep, Einstein is good for Movika because Einstein spends Night Soul, and that helps Movika get Fighting Spirit. So if you look in her talents, her burst, she has a limit of 200 Fighting Spirit, but it costs 100 to do her burst. And when in combat, Night Soul points consumed by nearby party members are converted into Fighting Spirit. So that happens at basically a 1-to-1 ratio. So a character that spends like 50 Night Soul points in a rotation will give her 50 Fighting Spirit. When a party member's normal attacks an opponent, she gains 1.5 Fighting Spirit, can trigger every 0.1 seconds. That is very negligible and doesn't really give much. It may account for like a couple % of her total Fighting Spirit. And then she gains an additional 10 Night Soul when she uses her burst. But her skill, it'll generate, it'll give her a limit of 80, and so she'll do 80 Night Soul Spirit a rotation herself. And then plus her burst, that's, if done absolutely optimally, that's 90 Night Soul rotation, and that's not enough to fuel her own burst. So you really want a Night Soul character with her at C0. Now, with Constellations, her C1 makes it so her E skill will do 120 a rotation instead of 80, so it's 50% more. And then any Night Soul that she does, or any Fighting Spirit she does get, gets a 25% bump on it as well. So this will give her like 150 Night Soul rotation on her own. So she can burst every rotation, but she gets the most damage with 200 Night Soul when she bursts. And you still want to have a Natlan character with her if you have her C1, because that just means more damage. Great thing about Jalonen, if you can get her, because she's actually really good with Malvika in her Vape and Melt teams. Her skill, she'll instantly burn through like 90 Night Soul in like a couple of seconds. And that just shoots Malvika through the roof with her Night Soul generation. And then there's Sitlolly. Where the hell she is. She can go through around similar amounts, although she does take the rotation to go through all that. And she can also fuel Malvika's thing. And then she also applies Cryo, so Malvika can get her melts and do the most damage that Malvika can do. So that's basically a premium character for Malvika. However, Malvika can be used as a support too, like support with Einstein, or support with Milani, or support with Chaska, or Kanich. So Malvika is actually fairly flexible, where she can be used as the carry and as a support, depending on what characters that you have.
This way through the loop.
Light of the blazing sun!
Carving waves.
Einstein also gets built with Cinder City as well, but she wants attack power and energy recharge. So this will be
All right, team. Let's move it
Verissa's
out.
team.
Stop right there. Justice will grow faster, stronger. On my mark.
Pyroclastic surge!
Headbutt. Hero incoming. Yeah!
Now, thing is Einstein has some very, very high energy recharge. Now, I only have her at C0, so I wasn't able to get any constellations on her. I did try, though. And if you look at her build, I have her over 200% energy recharge. And that's also with double Electro, which gives Electro Resonance. So when you do Electro-related reactions, you get extra energy particles due to the resonance. So it makes it difficult to keep up her burst with that. And then crit damage and EM. I'll save that just in case. And it's a 4-set starter. So normal attack, this to get my overcharge ball.
Hands where I can control breathing.
Okay, I did get my burst back.
Yeah! Heads up! Hero incoming! Yeah! Headbutt!
Didn't get anything really worthwhile this round today, as expected. But that's how artifact farming goes.
Time to roll! Good! Look out below!
Also, with Chevreuse, if you just tap
Drop your
E and
weapons.
fire, you won't get your attack buff with her. So the only way you're going to get the attack buff is you actually have to hold E to get this, and then fire when you have that overcharge ball. The reason why it's done this way is, let's say you're fighting in open world or whatever, right? You just killed an enemy, but you need to heal up after the fight, but you don't want to use your overcharge ball. You can just tap, and then you can go through to the different characters and heal them up with their skill without consuming the overcharge ball. Oh, you haven't seen all of it there, Ash. So if you make her do her butt plunge, she'll get up and coddle her rear. And then if you make her do her full thing, she'll coddle with both hands. And for other people, I know an FS going to be coming out soon. Actually, let me do my daily wish count here. Got 100 wishes here. 8 wishes there. Plus 100 wishes there, so that's 208 wishes right now. I'm also at 38 pity and on a guarantee. But in 4 days, 5 hours, so coming Tuesday night in my time zone, 11 p.m. Eastern Time, they're going to have an FS banner start for 5.8. I'm going to be skipping her. I have my reasons for it. I'm not going to really talk much into leaks. But I am going to be skipping her, and then I'm going to be focusing on more of those characters that were shown off in the teaser. So I'm going to go back to those here. So Ash, how do you like this character? I can't wait to see what these characters do. I'm really curious on what their kits are going to look like. Next one I'm going to be interested in is her, Nafir. Now, you can kind of see it right around here that there's like a dendro vision on her back. And during the live stream and during the teaser, we saw that she has a dendro vision on her hip. And of course, their designs kind of say dendro. Yeah, and I'm hoping one of them is a on-field damage carry, so they can have our first waifu on-field dendro damage carrying game. There's 2 of them that exist in game right now, and they're not waifus. There is Al Haytham was the first, and then Kaniche was the second. And they're auto skips on my account. Flynn's here. He's going to... We did kind of see an electro vision on him in his teaser for a few frames of the video. So we know he's going to be electro. And of course, that kind of screams electro with the design here. We're suspecting that he's likely going to be an on-field damage carry. And if that's the case, considering he's coming out, logic says that it's likely that he is going to be working with Inefa for support. So if you skip, since I'm skipping Inefa, I'm clearly going to be skipping him, because he fails my account self-rule. So I'm not going to waste wishes on a support I'm not really going to use all that much. Because I'm not getting who they're primarily going to support. Jehoda, I have no idea what vision she's going to be. Although, I wonder if it's going to be Geo by her color scheme. But it's hard to say. We don't know what element she's going to be. And I can't really tell with her outfit of what she's going to be either. Columbina, because of the way they portrayed her in that teaser, we're suspecting that she might be Hydro. But not confirmed yet. We didn't see her vision. Sojourner, we don't know what element she's going to be, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's either Pyro or Electro. Varka, we saw his vision. He's definitely Animo. Nicole Rain, which is one of the witches of the Hetson Circle. We did not see her element, and I don't know what element she's going to be. Alice, that's a Pyrovision right there. And if you look at the bottom of it at these points here, it shows that it is a Mondstadt holder for the vision. So she's definitely a Pyro character. And she's actually the leader of the Hetson Circle. And Durin, we suspect he's Pyro. People are saying that they may have saw like a Pyrovision on his back here, but from the live stream, but it's hard to say. I think that's just a gem, though. And just to go over that video again.
You wish to hear a story of the moon? That tale begins long, long ago.
Mister! Nafa's starting her story already.
Thanks for the heads up.
So Nefa might be a storyteller of some sort. This girl's got to be a teenager.
The moon's a long way off. We might go hungry, but at least we have plenty of time. Hey kid, that headpiece of yours is pretty unique. Who designed it? Could you hook me up?
That's no headpiece. Those are his actual horns because he's the dragon.
There was no boundary between life and death. Willpower flowed freely among countless beings. The primordial being that once ruled this planet made 3 moons rise from the earth.
It's kind of right here. That's his electrovision right there.
It was not until the funerary year that the primordial voice once again cried out in the darkness.
So you know he's gonna be Electro.
My lady.
The Frostmoon Scions again. A laughably.
Thing, but I guess she might be more Pyro because the red in her outfit, but we don't see a vision.
Oh, pale white frost moon, I, your loyal emissary, and scion of Hyperborea, beseech you to cast down your gaze
We learned during the live stream that she's some sort of priestess.
from the celestial dome above. May your gentle tears pierce the frigid night, and grant us, the forsaken and forgotten, your guiding light.
You didn't come here for the story.
See what I mean about the face?
Did you?
Finished already, huh?
Hard to see, but there's right over here is a Dendrovision on her, so we know she's going to be Dendro.
No. It's just a greater storyteller than myself has come.
Here's Nicole.
Now, beyond the moonlight's reach, an ancient shadow brandishes its hunting claw.
And look at those eyes. There's probably something lore-wise that's going to be with those eyes. Which character was it that you liked better?
Claws, taking aim at the stars.
You're right. I came here for the moon.
And if you see over here, that's his animal vision, so we know he's going to be Animo. And technically, this is not leaks, because this is off of the Genshin official channel. So it's officially posted. Okay, so her vision is right here. That's a Dendrovision. So she cut her hand, and that's her blood that she put on her forehead. So it's not even red blood. It's kind of like a bluish ethereal blood. Yeah, better view the vision here. See, Dendrovision. And this is going to be the nod cry holder for it. So we now know what the holder is going to look like for the next region.
I'm afraid you have the wrong person. Now, be gone.
Here's Columbina. So, a levitating heel, but no shoe.
In the water, the future mirrors the past. The veil of lies is slipping. Time is short. The moon's fall is nigh.
And there's all little moons in all these flowers in the center of them. And of course, Alice.
Here at last. And things.
And look, Dodoko hair ties. That was a nice touch, because she's Klee's mom, so she's the one who actually invented Dodoko. Makes sense.
Look even messier than last time.
Albedo.
Alice, shall we be?
As you can see on his vision, he has the same things at the bottom of his vision, because the holders represents the nations that they come from.
There's no rush, and I'd like to catch up with an old friend first. And you...
Now that's an interesting hat that Alice has. And look at those eyes, too.
young man?
Let's part ways here.
So, you have the Wanderer here in his current outfit, and then the reflection down here is his old Scaramouche red outfit from before.
I have an old score of my
So the
own
water
to
is reflecting
settle.
his past. Alright, take care, Ash. And if we go back to the characters... like if I show a Mondstadt character, you see how, like Zuko's, that's her holder that she has for her vision. Diona, where is her vision again? Nope, same holder, because she's from Mondstadt. Fischl's also from Mondstadt. Same holder again. So that's the Mondstadt style of holder. Then if we look at Leeway, Lanyan's from Leeway. So it's kind of like a square holder. Okay, stay still so we can see it. There we go. So that's the Leeway holder. Ningguang, another Leeway character. Same holder. Yunjin's from Leeway. Same holder. Then if we go to Inazuma, like Kuki Shinobu, where is her vision again? There it is on her shoulder. So it's like a kind of like a round one this time. And then there's Kujo Sera, same design because she's also from Inazuma. Kirara's from Inazuma again, the same holder. Now, to show another example, now the holders are from where they're from, not where they stay. Now, Chiori, she runs a shop in Fontaine. However, she was originally from Inazuma. And she has the Inazuma holder for her vision, because she's actually from there. And she was actually childhood friends with Ayaka. And then she ran away from home and went to Fontaine. And started a business there.
Heads up! Ooh. Yeah.
With the mixing process if you don't keep your voice down.
So, let me check artifact storage. I got plenty of room. Nothing really to level. How much salvage do I have? Decent amount. Now freed up a bunch more room.
I'm heading east. Don't you come with
You might want to get a guide if you're not familiar with
Alright, so it covers the daily stuff. That covers the
What a place.
event.
Full of surprises.
Don't interfere with the mixing process if you don't keep your voice down.
Alright.
best I don't see you over in the west, then.
Alright, so I think that we're pretty much done here today's stream.
I'm heading east.
So I'd like to thank everyone for stopping by here, and thanks for the support here. And have yourself a great day, everybody.